This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at new lands. But before that, this video is brought to you by Tank Fooder and Viking Hammer 73. Thank you for being farm barons. So the new lands map is back. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let me read a little bit of the description. Welcome to New Adventure on New Lands. Here you will create your agricultural, arboricultural, horticultural, or even unique processing plant. You will have to collect and sell waste scattered all over the map. There are 28 fields, which are mainly intended for missions. One basic farm to start your adventure. The majority of plots are to be cleared and dedicated to the creation of your fields. There's a city on the map where there's a lake that is possible to do grass missions. Collectible objects on the map are present with waste to be sold. I'll explain that here in a little bit. There's a point of sale for grass cereal production. The season system remains basic on one of the game. So this is basically using the base game crop calendar. 3 sawmills, a BGA, a nursery with 3 different production units, trees, plants, fruits, and flowers. Several storage places for productions. Train system, 5 factories are available, and a highway that crosses the map. Now, let me just tell you that is a quick summary of what is on this map. This map has a lot of cool things to offer, and I hope to show them all off to you in this video. We are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps. It is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. If you load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find it exactly how you see it here in new farmer mode, with the exception you do not own any land at the start. And as we literally fall onto the map, let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. This is a wilderness map, if you had not already realized it. It's kind of a hybrid wilderness map because we have pre-established road network, we have a fully established town, we have multiple sell points, multiple production points on the map. In fact, this map has 23 production points pre-placed. There is one field that we own at the start and then several other fields. And when I read the description, it talked about the 28 fields on the map are basically for contracts. I didn't really understand what they meant until I loaded in. And take a look here. This is really a cool concept where the fields are the grass that is lining the highway. So the missions are all about mowing the grass that is along the highway and basically keeping the highway grass short. Kind of a neat little concept. This map does include all of the standard crop types available to us in Farm Sim 22. And if we take a look at the lands area, see there are a ton of buyable lands on the map. We start out by owning the main farm and field 2, which is located right here. $31,960 to buy if you do not own it already at the start. There are also a few buyable plots over here along this road. These are basically houses that you can buy. If you buy the houses, you will not be able to sell the houses, but in theory, you could put down a sleep trigger if you wanted to. We've got a plot here, $3,360. We have another plot, $5,330, and then a final plot, $5,040. There is a plot you can buy up here along this road that has some storage sheds, $19,980. And there's also a few random plots kind of scattered around the town. This is a more of a pond than a lake, I would call it. But there is grass growing along the outside of the pond that you could be contracted to mow the grass on. We do have a buyable BGA, which can be bought for $18,156. I'm going to go ahead and buy that. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. The farmland lease screen is going to show us all of the buyable and owned farmlands. If those farmlands include any fields, what fields they include, and how large the farmland is and ultimately how much it's going to cost us. We slowly scroll through this list, you will see that the farmland is fairly cheap on this particular map. There are, of course, no predefined fields other than field 2 that we have, and then the other fields are available for contracts. You can actually buy the grass fields that are along the interstate if you wanted to do something crazy like put additional crops in. I thought possibly the map author would make them so you couldn't buy those fields. They were only available for contracts, but no, you could actually buy them if you wanted to. But overall, the land is really, really cheap on this map. And lots of viable plots. You take a look at our field calculator screen, you're going to see all of the predefined fields and how large they are. You could then cross-reference this with the field farmland lease screen to then basically figure out how much each field is going to cost us, other than field 2, which is 0.6 hectares in size. All of these plots really aren't worth talking too much about because they are right along the interstate. We do have the standard base game crop counter available on the map, as the description said. And if we take a look down through our prices screen, you will see we do have the ability to sell all of our base game crops with the exception of cotton. We cannot sell cotton on this particular map. We do have sell point for eggs, wool, and milk, as well as for silage, grass, hay, straw, and wood chips. Take a look down through all of the base game productions. We do have the ability to sell several of the base game productions. In fact, all of the base game productions. And something to kind of point out here is that there are some really unique sell points on this particular map. We also have new crops available. We have red cabbage, flowers, bamboo, aloe vera, cypress, eucalyptus, bonsai, Terra O, which is basically like compost. And let's take a look at Terra O's stations. We have people's names and we have typical sell points. So in town, there are people that we can sell compost to. We can also sell compost to our greenhouses, our shrubbery greenhouses, and such. We also then have separated manure. So if you are playing this map with pumps and hoses, you will be able to sell separated manure at the animal dealer. You start out with a fairly modest list of starting equipment. All of it is new. None of it is leased. We own it all. We do not have any animal areas at the start. And here we have our contracts. So you can see Sandra here has a baling contract on the field 7. This is her yard. We're basically baling her yard. Okay. Then we have the highway contract to bale the grass that is along the highway at field 14, field 16, and also field 24. As far as productions, we do not own any productions at the start. I did buy the biogas plant, and if you buy the biogas plant, you will have access to the actual biogas plant as a result of buying that land. There are no collectibles on the map, other than, let's just say that there are some recycled goods that you can collect around the map and ultimately sell. Let's go ahead and kind of skip over our precision farming soil map, given the fact that we only have a few small fields, and most of that is here along the interstate. I really don't think we need to go into too many details as far as what the soil map looks like, but I will say that if you do play with precision farming, this map is making use of the generic soil map that, again, is part of the precision farming mod. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bought all of the production items that are pre-built into the map. So let's take a rundown through all of those. So we have the very large greenhouses. They're going to require water, seeds, and Terra O, which basically is compost. And we're going to be able to produce tomatoes, lettuce, strawberries, red cabbage, or flowers as a result. We have 2 of those large greenhouses. In fact, we have 5 very large greenhouses. We also have 2 shrubbery greenhouses. Sorry, we have more than that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shrubbery greenhouses. I must have counted those incorrectly. At any rate, the shrubbery greenhouses are going to require water, solid fertilizer, and Terra O. They're going to then produce bamboo and aloe vera. We have a plants area, which is going to produce bonsai, cypress, or eucalyptus. It's going to require water and Terra O. We have a traditional Farm Sim 22 bakery. It's going to make bread and cakes. We, of course, have our biogas plant. We have a traditional oil mill, sugar mill, and cereal factory. Now, with respect to carpentry, we have carpentry and then we have sawmills, but they're basically all named carpentry. Here we have a carpentry shop that's going to take planks and make furniture and wood chips, fairly traditional. We have a carpentry shop that's going to take wood and make planks and wood chips, so a sawmill. And then we have a carpentry shop that's going to take wood and make planks, but no wood chips. We have a mulcher, which is capable of making Terra O, or basically compost, or mulch, if you will, through straw, manure, sugar beet cut, hay, silage, grass, or wood chips. We have the traditional dairy. We have then another carpentry shop that's going to take planks and wood, make furniture and wood chips. Then we have the Lizard CR3000, which is basically another form of composter that's going to take straw, manure, sugar beet cut, hay, silage, grass, and wood chips. And then we have more of our large greenhouses listed here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. Start out with the Fendt 718 Vario medium tractor. We have the Nova 330 harvester that is paired up the PowerStream 500 grain header. We have the Brantner TA 23065 2 Power Tube Plus trailer. We have the Kuhn HR 6040 RCS and BTFR 6030 seeder and Power Harrow combo. We also have the Kuhn TF 1512 seeder hopper. We have a Dalbo Power Roller 1230 HD. We have the Breedall K105 lime and solid fertilizer spreader. We also have the M650 mulcher that is available to be attached to a tractor. The Anderson M160 log trailer. And then we have a 1,000 kilogram front weight. Take a look at our mods and DLCs. You'll see there are no additional vehicles or implements that are a part of this map. And with that, let's just tab real quick over to our starting farm. And here we have our starting farm. It is very, very basic. We have a little pad of concrete. We have a 3-bay garage with a lot of our machinery. And then we have an open shed with the rest of our machinery. And then field 2. That's the farm tour. This is what you start out with in new farmer mode. And it is also very affordable if you start out in farm manager or start from scratch. Now, I want to quickly run over here because I want to show you a really, really cool concept that is on this map. And that is the idea of collecting trash. So you'll see this big pile of junk. Well, it all has a recycled logo on it. This is all recyclable materials. The idea is you're going to come around the map, you're going to pick this stuff up, you're going to put it in a trailer, and you're going to take this stuff to the recycling center, and you're going to sell it. And you're going to get a little bit of money for it. Because everything has recycling logos on it. All of this stuff can be picked up. Pallets. Tires. Mattresses. Really, really cool, interesting concept. And we're going to find, during the flyer run, we're going to find piles of this stuff kind of scattered here, there, and yonder on this map. So that is what, when the description says collectible objects on the map are present with waste to be sold. That's what this is. We can come around, we can pick up these barrels, we can put them in a truck, we can take them to the waste processing facility, and we can sell them for some amount of money. Let's go ahead and take to the skies. And as I said, this map includes 23 production points. We have a BGA, we have an oil mill, we have a sugar factory, a cereal mill, 4 carpentry shops, a mulcher, a dairy, the Lizard CR3000, which is another mulcher, 5 very large greenhouses, multiple shrub greenhouses, a plant facility, and a bakery. As you can see, we have kind of some sparse trees here, there. We've got some more denser trees, kind of more towards the center and north of the map. This map, at its heart, is a wilderness map, a build-your-own type of map, but also it's a bit of a hybrid in the fact that we have a very well-established town to the north. We also have a very well industrial area established to the east. And then we have a highway network and a road network already pre-built on the map. So there we have our pile of recyclable materials just past our main farm area. Here we have some of the buyable plots, and these plots, again, you could buy if you wanted and put down your own farmhouse, but these have contracts. So you could be contracted to mow the grass for the owner of this farm or this house. And, well, good luck baling this grass up in this small area. But at any rate, the idea is pretty neat that you would be coming around and be contracted to keep the grass cut on these areas. So we have at least one vehicle shop, possibly two vehicle shop. This is definitely a vehicle shop. And we're going to check out another area, because there's another area that has what looks like a vehicle shop, and I do want to just see if that comes up. We have a fuel point. Here we have one of our carpentry facilities. So we have our dump point for our wood cell trigger. We have our interactive icon there. And this one is going to produce planks out of logs. Now, we do not have a clear indication of where the logs are going to spawn in at. That's a few issues on this map. Some of these spawn points for the production is not super clearly marked. Now, just up from that, we have yet another carpentry shop. This one is set up as a barn. This time we have our pallet spawn point located right here. This one is going to take planks and wood. It's going to make furniture and wood chips. So furniture is going to spawn around front here. Our wood chips are going to come out of the pipe. Then we have our dump point for our logs. Another house where we're going to be eventually contracted to mow the yard. As we make our way up along the western edge of the map, we're going to probably find at least one more pile of trash. There it is down there. Now, this map was kind of popular in Farm Sim 19, I remember. It was, of course, a map that came out after No Man's Land, the originator of the wilderness-style maps. But it was rather popular because I think it was kind of a hybrid of having cell points and road networks pre-established, but you could come into the wilderness and really then kind of make out your own way. So we're coming up here to where all of the very large greenhouses are located, as well as the plant area and the shrubbery greenhouses. As we already talked about, these greenhouses are going to take water, seed, and Terra O, which we should basically read as compost. Here we have the mulcher production facility. This is where we're going to make our Terra O. And our pallets are going to spawn right here. Again, it's not really marked, but they will spawn right there. Here we have our plant facility where we're going to make the various pallets of trees. So we have our water point, we have our interactive icon, we have our dump station for the Terra O. And then we have our plant greenhouses located here. Again, water, Terra O, and fertilizer. We're going to go into there. We have our cereal factory, sugar mill or oil factory. Then we have kind of a little bit of a loading area and kind of a secondary farm area, a staging area maybe for all of our production stuff that's going to be running over here at the greenhouses and plant area. This is buyable. Now, if you do buy this area, you will not be able to sell the buildings. So do note that these buildings are permanently attached to the map. You will not be able to sell those. Let's make our way over here to the highway, and you can kind of get an idea of how these fields are laid out and what's going to be involved in doing mowing contracts on these plots. So this would be a mowable field to clear along the highway. Here we have another field set up. It is in seeded grass, so the grass is kind of at different stages. But all of these individual sections are set up as individual fields. They would have individual contracts. It's all going to be about baling and mowing the grass here. And, well, it may or may not be overly difficult in order to do that. You want to recycle some cars? Well, here we got one. Looks like we're going to have difficulty picking the car up. But it is listed as recyclable because it does have that icon on it. And now we're coming over here to our town. And the town is where we're going to find the NPC Terra O sell points, one of which is right here. So we're going to have to come in here and open the gate. And then bring the Terra O pallets right here to sell. Really kind of a cool idea. We've got one there. We've got one here on the other side of the house at this little garden area. Here we've got another one at a garden area. Another one. Another one. This whole area, this is an area set up to buy production. Okay? This is listed on the map as the farmer's market. 6H, 9H farmer's market. And if we just kind of walk through here, what we're going to find is they are going to buy things. And what they're going to buy is basically going to be denoted by what is on the shelves. So this is where we're going to come to sell our bread. This is where we're going to come to, well, sell logs, no doubt. Possibly firewood that we split up. Cheese. Trees. And we already have an idea of what some of these trees are going to be looking like. Terra O. So that's what pallets of Terra O look like. Furniture. Cakes. This is butter. Honey. It's a really cool way of setting that up. Really neat idea. Here we have that lake. As the description says lake. I'm going to call it more a little bit of a pond area. But again, it has grass. And in theory, you would have a contract to come in here and mow and bale this grass, take it away, and sell it. Here we have what looks like a second vehicle shop. And I'm really curious because we have another icon over here. And I want to hit it and see what happens. Do we actually have two vehicle shops? Let's see what happens. We do. This may be the very first map we have ever seen that has 2 vehicle shops. Okay, there's our Mahindra. Let me jump back over here. See what happens. Okay. So we basically have 1 vehicle shop, but the triggers are duplicated. So we could buy machinery way over there on that side of the map, but it's going to get delivered here to town. Then we'd have to come over here to town and pick it up. But we do have multiple dealer triggers, so we have our maintenance trigger over here. On this side of the road, we have our grocery sell point. Around the back. We have our bakery. We have our functional dairy. Here we have I believe this is a restaurant style sell point. Indeed it is. We have another contractor here that's going to buy various goods, identified by the items that are out front. An NPC. Up the hill, we have our farm silo, which is located right here. So this is our farm silo. Okay. We have a point to load and unload the train. We have a train sell point, a log sell point for our train. And then inside of here, we have another really, really cool idea. Kind of like the farmer's market, only inside. So inside we have racks of products. Okay. And at each rack of products, we have a dump icon. So we need to bring our cabbages or strawberries, and we can sell them here on this rack. We bring our tomatoes and our lettuce on this rack. We have our butter here. Oh, no, sorry, these are flowers. We have our furniture. We have our planks. We have our grape juice, right? Fabric, clothes, wool. All of these things, all right, these plants, we're going to sell those there. These trees, we're going to put them there. The bonsai, we're going to put there. Really, really neat concept. Very close quarters, right? You're going to have to come in here with a trailer, and that's what this is out here. We have a back the trailer into here, and then we can have a forklift to offload the trailer and then drive our finished goods into this area for ultimately selling at these specific rack areas. Cakes, cereals, flour, honey. And then we also have storage racks, and we have a maintenance trigger in here also. So really, really neat concept. I really think that's pretty interesting. Hope we see that kind of repeated on other maps. And then further up the road, we have our second mulcher. This is the Lizard 3000. That's going to make Terra O. So we have our dump point. We actually have another dealer trigger up here. Over there. So So we have our interactive icon here. We actually have another dealer trigger over here for maintaining our vehicles. We have our stone crusher. And this is listed on the map as wastewater. Okay, it's listed here as wastewater. Waste collection center, sorry. So this is where we're going to bring our recycled junk in order to be sold. Stuff we're basically picking up off the map. We're going to bring that here to get sold. Over here we have our biogas plant. And since we bought the biogas plant, we now have the use of the facility. We don't have to buy the land and then also buy the biogas plant itself. So I think that's going to do us. I'm not going to do a drive around. I think the fly around, we were fairly detailed enough with that. I do want to cross the road over here and talk about one more point of interest. And while we are making our way over there, I do want to run through the scoring. We're going to give the map a full point with production. There are crazy cool productions on this map. Like the ability to pick up trash, take it to the sell point. That is so cool. We have abandoned cars that we could pick up and take to the trash collection facility. Right? All this is pretty cool. In fact, I want to take this. And let's go ahead. Oh, we might be on. All right, let's not worry about it. We won't worry about it. We'll just change our minds, right? With respect to the ability to sell all our base game crops, production outputs, and animal outputs, we're going to give the map 3/4 of a point. We do not have the ability to sell cotton. I don't know if that's deliberate or if that is unintentional, but the fact that it's just cotton feels maybe a little bit unintentional. Hopefully the map gets updated and cotton is added. Then we would have given the map a full point there as well. We do not have the ability to bulk line, but we also do not take points away for not having the ability to buy bulk line. Can the farms be customized? Yes, the main farm can be customized. We can sell the 2 sheds that are on the main farm, and then we have complete reign on what we want to do with that particular land. Buildings where appropriate are indeed using the new texture technique because they are all, for the most part, basically Farm Sim 22 base buildings. Here we have the biomass plant, so we can sell wood chips here or logs. We have another fuel point. We have a log sell point here at the train, or I believe this is a rent train trigger. More appropriately, yeah, this is a rent train trigger. But we also have the ability to kind of load and unload things here from the train. Here we have another carpentry facility, but this carpentry facility is more of a real carpentry, right? Planks and furniture and wood chips. But no trees at this one. So we have our dump point for our planks. We have our interactive icon. We have our wood chips. And we have our planks. So our furniture's over here. Yeah. No, we have a dump point for each. Very, very strange. Some wood. Very strange. Let's check this out. Carpentry. It's like we have a log sell point here that is tied to the carpentry, but not really a part of the carpentry, unless there are 2 carpentries here. It should be really, really weird. It's just wood, planks, and wood chips. Wood, planks, and wood chips. And this one's going to be planks, furniture, and wood chips. That is very strange, and I'm a little concerned that that is broken. Because that is kind of strange. Trigger and player interactive areas being clearly marked. Perfect example of that is right here. Not so much. not so much. We didn't have trigger markers or markers showing where pallets are going to spawn at some of the carpentry areas. We didn't have that at the Terra O facility, the mulcher facility over by the greenhouses. We have this here where we have seemingly 2 production points sharing the same building. So is this the dump point for the planks to make the furniture? Is this the dump point over here for the wood to make the planks? Then where do the planks spawn? Where does the furniture spawn? And are the wood chips shared? Right? It's kind of confusing. So guys, let me know what you all think. We're going to give the map here a score of 4.5 out of 5 because we're going to give the map a half a point with respect to player and interactive areas being clearly marked. Are you going to give a go on this map? Is new lands going to be your new land that you're going to be building out your farm? Let me know down in the comments below. And until next time, happy farming.